One hot summer day, I was walking with my friends around my city, having a fun time. We had a few drinks and enjoying our lives before leaving for college. We had so much fun that forgot to check what time it was, and to our surprise, we had lost the last bus ride that could bring us back home. All of our parents were sleeping, and we didn't want to wake them up to give us a ride back home, so we decided to walk. At this point, I have to mention that my friends and I actually enjoyed taking long walks, but we had never before walked at 2 o'clock at night, and the worst part was that we were kinda drunk, so we knew that the walk home would be long. So we started walking from the city center back to the suburbs where we lived. We calculated that it should take around 1.5 to 2 hours, depending on how fast we would be walking and how many breaks we would have. The ride home was long, and we would have to walk through some sketchy neighborhoods. That was the part that freaked me the most. You see, my other friends were more brave. I was always the overprotective guy who got scared easily, so walking through those dark alleys, which had no good reputation, creeped me out a little. Some time passed by, and we had walked halfway. The boys were a bit tired, and not gonna lie, so was I. So we decided to sit for a while and then continue the walk. While we were sitting and catching up our breaths, a guy approached us. He was tall, very skinny, and smelled really, really bad. At that point, we couldn't bear the smell. Instead of leaving, we decided to stay for 2-3 more minutes and then continue, thinking that the guy would leave us alone, but he didn't. He actually came closer to us and he said with a raspy voice, "Hey boys, do you have a cigarette or two to spare?" None of us smoked at the time, so we nodded our heads and I said politely, "No, sorry sir, we don't." I expected that after that the guy would leave, but he didn't. Instead, he asked us another question. "Okay then, maybe you have some change so I can buy a pack, don't you?" The problem was that we actually didn't. We had spent it all for the drinks and to buy the bus tickets that we ended up not using, so we didn't have any way to make that guy leave. "No sir, we don't have any money," my friend George said aggressively. At first, that seemed to make the guy less interested to us, and he started walking away. But in our surprise, he turned around and started running back to us. We started to run too as a group, and although the guy who was chasing us seemed weak, he could actually run fast and was catching up on us. That was when John, our other friend, screamed at us, "Guys, we have to split up, otherwise he will catch all of us." At the time, it sounded as a good idea, but as I'm writing this story, I regretted our actions at the time. So, we split up, took 3 different ways, and at first I thought that the plan worked, because the guy stopped chasing us. I continued running, got in an alley, and hidden behind some trash. There were a few seconds of silence until I heard some motorcycles and the same raspy voice of the guy saying angrily, "We have to find them, no matter what." I was so scared and confused. Why do they need to find us? How many of them were outside searching for us? We had no money and nothing expensive on us that was worth stealing. Why was this guy and his friends searching for us? All these thoughts were running through my mind at the moment when I felt a hand touch my shoulder. My heart sank. I turned my head and I was relieved to see it was George. "You scared the crap out of me," I said. George apologized. He didn't mean to scare me. "We have to find John," he said, and I agreed. Walking on our tiptoes now, we were moving behind cars and being very careful not to make any noise. After 15 minutes of searching, we had neither heard from John nor seen the guy and the others on the motorcycles. That's when we thought it was a safe time to call John. The phone rang a few times, and then it went to voicemail. We tried one more time, the same thing. Once again, and no answer. We continued walking towards home, and after 2-3 minutes of walking, my phone rang. It was John. I answered immediately. "John, where are you? We are looking for you so we can go back home all together." But instead of hearing John's voice, I heard the raspy voice of the guy who was chasing us, and he said, "I don't think John can answer the phone right now, and I have to say, it wasn't a very good idea to call him 3 times. Oops," he said while laughing. I closed the call right away. "George, what should we do now?" "I have no clue," he said. We were very scared, didn't know what to do, and we were still a 40-minute walk away from home. Then it hit me. "There's a police station nearby. We have to go there now," I said. So we ran to the police station, and I was hoping that the cops could track John's phone and find him. After a few minutes, we reached the police station and tried to explain everything that happened as calm as we could. The police officers called our parents and began the search instantly. Our parents took us back home. Mine scolded me for not calling them and for our idea to walk back home. I didn't sleep that night. I was thinking, where was John, if he was hurt, and many scenarios passed by my mind. The next day, George and I testified at the police station with exact details of what happened, and I believe I gave a pretty good description of the guy. A few days passed by, and we had been informed that John's phone was found near the area I was hiding inside a dumpster, but no clue where my friend was. Unfortunately, that night was the last night I have seen John, my best friend. All this happened a few months ago, and I still have hope that my friend is somewhere out there, still alive.